giant. So I decided to make the Sparrow mural. It's on a wall that's 11 feet tall and about 30, maybe 35 feet wide. We got in touch with Neighborhood Housing Services of New Haven. They put us in touch with Bashar at Moe's Market. He said, like, please do this here. This was only 4 weeks ago that we started the project. So in 4 weeks, we power washed the wall, scraped off the excess paint, we primed the piece. I projected at night the image of the watercolor that I did of the sparrows so that I could get an accurate drawing down. It's not like the other mural projects that I've had in the past where I can get the entire community in, because these birds are highly realistic and the rendering of them is quite complicated. But I've had some kids from Squash Haven come down. I've had people from Breathing Room Yoga Center come down. I've had just friends and family come down so that I could paint the background. And while that's going on, I'm going to be working on the foreground for the next couple of weeks. This week has a lot of rain in the forecast.
Right.
So I'm going to be out there.
Actually, for the full next, like a good 5 days.
Yeah.
Well, no, the weekend should be cloudy, but still,
yeah,
it's still a little damp day or so.
Yeah, the weather might slow me down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm really going to try to get this out before November begins. So I'll be out there working. So come say hi. Come into Moe's Market. It's right on the corner of Division and Dixwell Street. It's a really, really lovely community. People have been very, very positive about what's going up there. And I'm just really happy to be continuing to contribute to the discourse of public art in these communities that we have. I'm really proud to do it.
In Moe's Market, this is a place in our community. Have they been reaching out to our community? Obviously, they're doing something. And I know it's going to bring a lot of attention to Moe's Market. And that's a good thing. They're going to get free press or whatever, however we want to look at it. My thing is they give back to the community. They're not of the community. They're not from the community. Do you know what is their give back to the community? Just curious.
I actually don't. I've driven by Moe's Market many, many times over the years.
I remember when that was a black-owned grocery store in a black neighborhood. That was what people don't understand about New Hallville in particular. New Hallville here in New Haven, Connecticut, in the late 60s, 70s, and early 80s, there were a lot of black-owned, especially in the 70s, black-owned operations, more than just the barbershops, grocery stores. That was the black-owned grocery store right there at that corner. It's at the corner of Division and Dixon.
Which one it is? Okay.
Right at the corner of Division and Dixon.
Yeah,
that was a black-owned, and upstairs he used to have rentals.
He still does now.
He still does.
Yeah.
At one time, I can't remember the guy's name. What was there? Somebody who was from New Yorkville. If you know my number, only if you know my damn number, hit me with it. But then again, who cares? Hit me with it because I can't remember the name. Eddie's, but no, Eddie's was the barbershop. But that was a black-owned grocery store that was there. If you look into New Hallville, New Hall Street at the corner of New Hall and Bassett, that was Thorn Dry Cleaners. It's now a church. That was a black-owned dry cleaners. They had there were businesses that could have expanded, but of course, with systematic racism, let's be very clear, and the deprive and the higher insurances that went to black communities, they literally squeezed the heck out of that doggone out of New Hallville. New Hallville was one of the highest black-owned home ownerships. Well, in New Hallville, in the city. Okay, New Hallville stood for ownership. That's the thing about New Hallville. People only talk about the 80s drug wars, the 80s and 90s drug wars. But New Hallville stood strong for black-owned businesses and homes. Economic structure was strong in New Hallville. Between New Hallville and parts of Dixwell, it was expanding down onto Dixwell Avenue. We had our own funeral homes. We had our own, we had our own dry cleaners. We had We had grocery stores. And now they're bodegas. But I'm talking about expanded grocery stores. That was one. So I know. I grew up there. So when I'm talking about this stuff, I'm talking from knowledge, experience. Got to understand that's where I'm coming from for this.
I feel you.
So when I see something like this going up on a wall that, to me, personify black ownership and black excellence and black advancement, I want to make sure, because as time went on, people pulled their monies from outside sources and came into our community. And I just want to know what's to give back. I am always there on that. But I appreciate what you're doing as well. I strongly agree with what you're doing. What you're doing out there and expanding this message, I want to make sure that everyone who see these sparrows on the side of that building don't just see damn birds. There are those who are going to say, oh, they're doves. I'm quite sure you're going to get that. Oh, freedom and doves and whatnot. But I want them to understand, them as sparrows. Because you highlighted something in your write-up that I think is even more powerful than the birds themselves on the wall. And that is, sparrows are small birds that has beauty that is often overlooked. That's my community. That's where I'm at with this. Now, you were supposed to do a mural downtown?
I was.
What happened?
This was the mural of the Dr. Edward Boucher mural project.
Yes.
I received $25,000 from the Could Be Fund.
Yeah, you have to go on vacation. Go ahead. No. I'm joking, man. Go ahead. Jokes.
We had a location picked out across from Crown 116, the back of 55 Church, this big, beautiful, expansive wall.
Yeah.
We had community support. When it was time to ask for the building owner for permission, he denied it.
Oh, is that right?
That was a no from him, and that is the end of the discussion, end of conversation. I think he's a Manhattan-based building owner. He's not in the community.
Right. Correct.
There was no rebuttal. I heard the no, and I was like, okay, the project is gone. So there was no need to raise the additional 25. The project has been shelved. We are currently looking for other places to put it.
Right.
I did not want to compromise on size. They had other locations similar in the area.
Right.
But it would have to the mural would have to be much, much smaller.
Please.
And I want that message to be
Please
big.
help them understand who Dr. Edward, how you pronounce his last name?
Dr. Edward Alexander Boucher.
Boucher.
And he was the first, I got a little picture of him on the card here.
Yes. This is who you were going to put in those different. Because he is the individual who identified light, the colors that come through light. Am I correct?
He had his PhD, the first black doctor in the United States.
PhD doctor.
From Yale in 1854.
Yes.
And his PhD was in physics on refractive light indices, measuring refractive light indices. So,
okay, so could you break down what measuring refractive light is about? Do you have a little detail on that?
I do. So in physics, refraction of light is how the colors break up into the different spectrums.
Okay.
Right? So he was doing his experiments through different glasses and measuring how wide apart the reflections from red to your orange through the spectrum.
So, just 1 second. Reason why this is very important, because people don't understand. We speak from like pilots from 38,000 feet above. When we break it down the way people can understand it, that's when they show real love. Think of it this, people. Think of if you're trying to add a different color to, I could have said hue, but you're trying to add a different color or a different shade to your Word document, and you hit that little drop down bar, and you got all these little pixels that show you the difference. That's equivalent to what he was doing, measuring how to get to those. That's now we're benefiting of on a computer.
This is in 1854. So.
Thank you. This is 1854, but we're benefiting from it today on our computers, what this black man put together. Because you could not transition color shades of colors if you didn't know the distance. You need that in order to put the ones and zeros together in order to get it on a computer. So that's broken down to that level. That's where I'm going with this. I want people to understand the importance of that. So continue, sir.
And this was at a time when blacks were considered intellectually inferior than all the other races. So
They still think of us as so.
When he graduated from Yale with his PhD, he wasn't able to get any work. He was not able to teach on the college level anywhere in the nation. So
people don't understand. To this day, you graduate from Yale with a degree does not guarantee that you're going to advance because of your color. When you are a color, you will advance, but it does not guarantee you're going to get full advancement.
That's true.
Because you're going to get these roadblocks. And you get these niggeros who get up here with these degrees and start getting into highbrow and forget what they have to put back into the society. Continue before I get upset.
Yeah, so he moved down to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And he was teaching chemistry,
racist stuff. Go ahead.
And physics to high school students. But Dr. Edward Alexander Boucher was born in New Haven. He's laid to rest in Evergreen Cemetery in New Haven.
Why not in Grove Street Cemetery?
Grove Street Cemetery?
I wonder why.
Well,
Evergreen is legendary. I know that.
He's here.
Evergreen has Winchester. They have some of the big names in here as well. I think Winchester is also in one of the Winchesters in Grove Street. Reason being is because that's like, I don't know. I got into the early settlers of the country. You can see their name, their gravestones in their remains is in Grove Street. So when I hear Evergreen has that as well, but that's like a historic spot. No more bodies are going in there unless you go through some kind of act of Congress or something. Who knows? It's just to get something in Grove Street. It's like a museum over there.
But he was a New Haven native, and
that's why I want him in there.
He went to the Hopkins School.
Oh, he did.
And he was valedictorian of his class, and then he ended up going to Yale. So.
Wow.
I wanted to highlight this as a person in the community that people need to be paying much more attention to.
Yeah, correct.
So a 50 by 65 foot mural is what I was going for, and I'm determined to make sure that happens somewhere in this city.
Let me ask you a question.
More public art. Yeah.
What if you can do something like that on an attachment?
An attachment?
Where it does not have to be 100% on the building. I know that is your thing. But what if it's an attachment? What if you're willing to talk to the owner about putting on some kind of, then you probably get hit with billboard situation, regulations, because I believe we have some kind of charter on the size of billboards in the city. But then it's not a billboard. But you know what I'm saying? Like if you put together a group of pieces of plyboard to make this big thing that goes on the side.
I see what you mean.
If you create this one big monster and it goes up in pieces, but however, it is one big thing and they don't feel so. I'm not sure. I think what they're concerned about is their eternal commitment to that image being on the side of the building. Would it affect sales? Would it affect, you know what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah.
So maybe they're looking to flip it. I don't know.
The building owner did say that he wanted to lease the building, and he didn't want anything to get in the way of any
that's what
transactions.
I'm quite sure that's what it is.
Yeah.
And especially in this era of Trump. In this era of Trump, we'll have people who don't want that on the side of their new building that they want, or the building they want to move into. So it's economics is driving that. It could be just economics, not even so much that the person don't want it on there.
Yeah. But we'll find another spot.
I like that spot though. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think it should be negotiated.
That's ideal. That spot is ideal.
I think it is.
Love it there. I would love it there. But
I don't think you should just walk away.
No, I'll keep fighting for it.
I think it's something that you should, you should at least ask again.
Because if he does sell the building and the ownership changes hands, I can go to that person and be like, hey, I have this idea. So we can just wait it out.
I don't know if he's ready to sell though, man. He's moving in. What's that? AMR just moved out, but somebody else is looking to move in there. Well, I'm all on top of everything. Don't play with Joe. I'm on top of every damn thing that's moving in this city. If you moving in this town, don't get it twisted. You best believe anything that's going down in this town. You best believe Joe knows and my people know.
Yes.
You better quickly understand that. I'm going to go, oh, if it's a cockroach moving, why did it cross the floor?
For real. What tribe you from?
Why you here?
They don't understand. Oh, from the streets to the boardroom, Joey knows what's going on. My ears are to the ground. Don't let this jokey joke nonsense fool you. That's what makes me who I am or what I am. Continue though about this. So you're gonna keep trying to push to get the mural of Dr. Edward Boucher.
Yes.
You're gonna get Dr. Alexander Boucher. Dr. Edward Alexander Boucher, if I could get it right.
Yes. I will keep fighting for that one.
That one.
While we're waiting for that, putting up these sparrows, it's really, really late in the year to be putting up a mural.
That's what I was thinking too.
But we only got permission about a month ago, so I'm going full force on that. Next year, it's a new funding cycle. I have some applications pending to get funding. The Flying Sparrow Mural Project is what it's called here currently. I got an artist fellowship from the Connecticut Office of the Arts.
Yeah.
And with the grant funding
congrats,
from that,
congrats.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
They've been extremely supportive.
Okay. Who's running that over there now, Dan?
That's the state. So that's Tamara Dimitri
okay.
in Hartford.
Yeah, out of Hartford. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I applied. I'm applying for things all the time. And for most artists, you have to apply for residencies. You apply for grants. You apply constantly.
Right.
And you get a lot of no's, but occasionally you get a couple yeses.
Question: do you write your own grants?
I do.
Man, this guy's all about it.
Yeah, you got to get the funding somehow.
Yeah, that's a good thing, man. Yeah. You know, shout outs to you.
Yeah.
Now, you went. Give them a little background on yourself and this art gig.
I actually just recently moved my art studio, the Adai Fine Art Academy.
You moved it from downtown?
From 817 Chapel. I was there for 13 years. Yeah. I am now at 840 State Street. So you know.
Where's 840? That's past. That's up there by somewhere by 840. 840. You're before J.P. Dempsey's. Where are you?
Closest to Delenya's Pizza. Right across the street from Citizens Television.
There you go. Right. That's
a Dominican hair salon was there. They vacated their space.
So that's where you are now.
That's where I am now.
Yes. So there's where the Ola Matos used to be. Well, right back from the Ola Matos by Christopher Martin's on the next block.
On the same side.
Yeah, same side, next block. Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. Makes sense.
So brand new space. It's a storefront. The accessibility issues of having my business on the second floor is all gone, so people can just walk in. Mm-hmm. I got plants in the window. I got the paintings up, the easels in.
I'm coming in to see you, man.
You have to. You have
to.
No,
I am coming in to see you. Yeah. I did not know that was an art space. Man, were you the one that made them put in a gas meter or something like that recently in there? Tell you, nothing happened with Joe, but Joe don't miss. Nothing happened around me that I don't miss. I'm here to tell you, they just run some gas meter into the building right there. So. Don't pay. Don't even pay no money.
Okay. But it's a beautiful space.
No, if somebody putting in a gas meter, I want to know why. Why are you transitioning from oil to gas? Okay, there's reasons. There's got to be a reason for that. Obviously, you might be looking to put in more apartments. If there's more apartments, how is that going to conflict with the more apartments in the city and downtown? Where is it going to pull from downtown? I do all of this. I should be doing city planning, to be honest with you. Go ahead, sir.
I'm really happy to be in this new space. It's like sun drenched with light. We have our kids classes on Saturdays.
You do kids classes as well?
Yeah, every Saturday for the last 13 years.
Man, you are busy to all hell.
I'm in it. Yeah,
and I got to tell you, man, I like to think of myself as being busy, but when I hear your story, man, it just makes me feel like I'm a lazy lima bean.
Lazy lima bean.
Gotta be in it.
I think this guy more West Indian than me, man. Check him now. See any coconuts fall out.
Oh my God.
Talking to my man Quajo from the name of your company again?
It's the Adai Fine Art Academy.
Why Adai?
Adai is my last name.
Oh.
Nice.
Nice. I thought he was going to tell me, oh, no, it's a tree in Africa. I'm like,
you ain't lying.
You know, I swear. I got no. No, your national, well, not the nationality. You're American, of course, but your ancestry.
Yes.
Thank you. Ooh,
it's Ghana.
Thank you for that word.
Ancestry is from Ghana. So
from Ghana.
I was actually there this past August because my grandmother passed away.
Oh, my condolences.
Thank you. But it was great to just be surrounded by family. I went to my parents' my parents grew up in a village in the north called Mpraiso. So that's about 100 miles north of Accra, the capital. So we were there for the funeral services. My first time seeing